Hello again. I've decided to do another video guide for solo players. This time it's about stealthy, sleepy super sample shenanigans. If you're like me, you need a lot of these about now, and they're pretty risky and time consuming to get on a regular mission. Normally you'd have to scour the whole map for the question marks, hoping to find the strange stone structure which contains all the super samples, and even if you do find it, you'd still have to pray it's not already being camped by an enemy squad and that you're not going to be chased by surrounding patrols. Beside that, I know I've failed to even find the structure when circling the huge map while avoiding all the patrols. It's a huge hassle, it's a waste of time, it's hard to do. Even if you manage to solo all the objectives and call in your extract, there's also no guarantee you'll have an easy escape. You could be forced to give up the samples just to get out, and in that case it's just heartbreaking and a waste of time. But infomercial time, I'm here to tell you there is a better way. I noticed yesterday when I was messing around with Blitz missions that the maps are tiny, like really tiny. And sure enough, when you put it on Helldive difficulty, there's still 6 samples on the map. This is exploitable, and here's how. So, drop yourself into Blitz Search and Destroy on Helldiver, or anything above 7. Higher the better, whichever planet you prefer. I've included footage of 3 different runs, one of which was a best case scenario and the other was kind of a worst case scenario. The Helldive difficulty modifiers can be brutal, so just pay attention to what they do before you drop in. If you have the choice, I'd suggest Automatons, but you're not attempting to fight any of these enemies, so it really doesn't matter what you do. If you want to do bugs for some reason, if that's just where you have the missions, go for it. Anyways, once you're on the ground and in a safe spot, just check the blank space away from any stronghold for points of interest. If you have access to the map, you can zoom in and slowly scan the terrain. Try to pay attention and you'll occasionally see your cursor flashing minor point of interest. Just mark these for easy navigation later. And even if you can't scan the maps are so packed with strongholds, your odds of finding the stone in any blank area is pretty high. So just keep looking around, get high ground, scan around. But, there's actually no rush, really. You've got 12 minutes, so take your time, use your revives to your advantage. You're not going to be able to use them later anyway, so just, if you can use them, do it. Once you do find the samples, try to lose any tails you have and sneak your way back to your extract. If you have a lot of time left, consider dropping your samples on a convenient spot on the landing pad for extra safety, because you never know if you'll be caught out and die before the timer runs out. And if you do, you don't want to have to try to reclaim the samples from whatever hiding spot you crawled into. However, keep in mind that you can't respawn after the mission timer runs out, so if your spot isn't already proven safe, just be ready to run in circles for 2 minutes. To make this trick even safer, consider bringing smoke grenades to cover your escape. You can cook these in your hand and just let them go off like a ninja smoke bomb, and then just toss the other 3 between yourself and the Pelican. If there's any stubborn patrols in the area who refuse to leave, at least they won't be able to see you. The general rule for the hide-and-seek game you're going to play here is to look for anything indestructible you can climb on, or generally anywhere you can conceal yourself while prone. Most extracts will have something you can climb on, but if there's actually nothing you can use, that's totally fine. You don't have to be in range of the landing zone at all for this strategy. So just get creative, look nearby, there's bound to be something you can use. And this is also a great reminder that the jump pack exists. You can use a shield generator while scouting for some extra safety, but swap to the jump pack and enable yourself to reach some tricky spots. It will let you find something that you can use. And although I didn't use it in this first mission's loadout, it's probably wisest to just bring a whole bunch of backpack equipment and leave it in your extraction area, just in case you need it. You won't be able to call it in at the very end anyway, so just make sure to leave it around, especially if your cooldowns are penalized by the mission modifiers. Just throw everything right away. If you're desperate and low level, you can also just make your own jump pack. There's another way of doing this. If you don't have smokes, for example, just take a real grenade and then cook it in your hand until you blow up. And then that will force a redeploy where you were, and then you can aim your pod on top of something tall. You might have to repeat this a couple times to get it to work with you, but you'll probably get a crazy hiding spot out of it without too much trouble. And just remember, use the dodge dive when you're jumping off a tall structure if you got somewhere like on top of a tower, because if you just try to walk off it, you'll probably kill yourself. Anyway, Once you found the safe spot, flip to your second screen and just distract yourself for a while. There's going to be possibly 2 to 4 minutes of extraction time added on to the mission. And this strat usually leaves you like, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 minutes where you're literally doing nothing. So you probably can just walk away. I know I did. But it's worth mentioning that if the Terminids notice you, they will burrow through the ground and reach you. Just be prepared to defend yourself. Automatons, on the other hand, are kind of helpless to do anything about it, except for throwing grenades at you with explosives and rockets and whatever. In either case, just fight back, pop a smoke grenade, relocate, do whatever you have to. But if you don't have time, just pop a smoke grenade and hope they lose interest. But yeah, I think that about covers it. If there's any additional questions you have, I'll check the comments and try to answer them. But I feel like this is pretty straightforward. And once again, if you're going to try this, good luck, and thanks for watching.
North.